Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. In today's video on the export from FlutterFlow to Flutter series, I'm going to show you how you can deploy your app to the Play Store and App Store. I understand that this is episode 2 of the series, but a lot of people like yourself might already have an existing app on the App Store and Play Store and have exported your code from FlutterFlow and have been using AI to build it. Then now you want to deploy it to the App Store and Play Store for those changes to go live. So which is why I've decided to move this deployment video up front so you can know how to set up the whole process. As you would know, FlutterFlow manages all this in the platform itself through the mobile deployment page, where you add all your issuer ID and the keys and the private keys and the credentials. And FlutterFlow actually uses a middle service called CodeMagic to do all this. There are multiple ways to deploy an app. So for example, you can actually build it locally and upload the file to Apple and Google. So this means that you can actually open the code if you have a Mac on Xcode and actually archive it and run a build and upload it to the App Store. This requires you to have a Mac. Subsequently, if you want to upload to Android, you can actually also build it locally and upload the final file to Play Store. This will reduce cost because we're not using a third-party platform like CodeMagic. However, if you don't own a Mac and you want to streamline the flow to make it more seamless, we can use a third-party platform like CodeMagic. There are other providers out there, but let's stick with something that FlutterFlow has been using since it has previously worked for your app. So what is CodeMagic? So CodeMagic is basically a CI/CD platform. Think of it as a middleware that allows your app to build and release. And in terms of pricing, that's something you need to consider now. So for individuals, there's 500 free minutes per month. On average, a build takes approximately 10 minutes. So this means that you have 50 builds in total. And iOS and Android builds are separate. So 10 minutes on iOS and 10 minutes on Android is 20 minutes in total. And of course, there is the pay-as-you-go plan, only pay for what you build. Usually for most people, the individual plan is enough, where you get 500 free minutes. So this means that you should only build when you absolutely want to build to test on your physical mobile. Alternatively, if you want to test, do use simulators and emulators on your computer because that's basically free of charge. It allows you to update and refresh the app you're building really quickly. So we push the code to GitHub, which we have configured in the previous video. We run CodeMagic build manually. There is an automation way where every single time you push to GitHub, it runs, but let's not do that because you might be pushing to GitHub to sync your files continuously as you build. So we're going to manually run the build in CodeMagic. Basically, CodeMagic will build and sign the app, and depending on what platform, it will basically upload the IPA to App Store Connect or upload the AAB file to Play Store. And then you can review it on TestFlight on iOS. And of course, you can have the internal track and external track on Play Store. And what CodeMagic does is similar to how we have set up FlutterFlow, we will need to provide it with sign-in credentials. You might be in the same scenario where you have created this deployment flow on FlutterFlow and you have no idea what your private keys are. So in this video, similar to you, I totally don't have the old private keys. I probably deleted them. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can configure CodeMagic from start to end, where we are going to successfully deploy an iOS app to TestFlight. Let's start with iOS, and in the next video, I'll go through Android as well. So first things first, you need to sign up for CodeMagic. I've signed up already. And if you just go to return to app after you've signed up, you'll get shown this screen. What you're going to do next is add application and then select GitHub. And then subsequently, you need to select your repository. So select the repository your code is synced to, and then select Flutter while workflow editor as the project type, and then press finish, add application. I already done that for my table tennis junction app that we'll be using for this whole series. Go into your app on CodeMagic and then subsequently tick iOS. What I want to do here is basically create 2 workflows, one for iOS and one for Android. because you might only want to deploy for iOS and you might only want to deploy for Android, not both at the same time. So by scrolling down, we have a range of settings to be configured. The most important one is you want to have all these unticked because you don't want to trigger on push, where if you push it to GitHub, it creates a build. The most important one we're going to set down is down here, is regarding distribution. So this is basically like iOS code signing and App Store Connect, which we need to do first. So we're going to work with iOS code signing, and then App Store Connect comes a bit later on once you've configured it. So what we can do here is automatic code signing, and this will basically pop up. It will ask you, hey, do you want to connect to your App Store developer portal for automatic code signing? So let's say yes to it, and then press go to setting, and this will navigate to CodeMagic setting page. And then we can basically go to this setting here called developer portal, press connect. And here are a few things we need to do. So similar to how FlutterFlow says it, you got to set the issue ID, you got a key ID, you got to upload the P8 file. There are instructions here on how you can configure this, right? So for example, in issue ID, you can get it from App Store Connect, user access, keys, and this is the issue ID at the top. For the key ID, you can go to App Store Connect, keys, and this is the key ID of the key, and then on how you can create an API key. And then this is the name. So think of this as the App Store Connect key name. It's really used for settings. It's not going to be published. One thing to note when you are generating the API key for CodeMagic, the role needs to be set to admin. So just remember that. So here I've configured the portal integration with my issue ID, key, and PA auth key. I will press save. And now it has a green light saying, hey, it's connected. So now we can go back to our project. So if you go back to this plus button, go finish build, and then make sure it's iOS workflow. Scroll down all the way back to distribution and press automatic. And then here it will say, hey, App Store Connect API key, just select this one because that's the key you set up. For the provision profile type, click App Store because you want to distribute this app to the App Store or test flight. Now for the bundle identifier. So remember when you first set up FlutterFlow, you had to create the bundle identifier and certificate. Your app, because it's already live, should have it already. And my app is called bundle identifier is com, 180 tech, table tennis junction, and the name is table tennis junction. There's other apps I've deployed there, but this is the one we're working with right now. And then for App Store Connect, let's enable App Store Connect publishing. The API key is basically this. Don't click publish even if tests fail. For submit to test flight beta review if you're using external testers, but I'm just going to leave all these unchecked. So we don't publish if tests, don't submit to test flight beta review, don't distribute to beta group. You can do that as well. And don't submit to App Store review. Before we start the build, we need to configure our app to be able to be published via CodeMagic. So open this project in IDE or Codex directly if that's your preference, or Claude Code, and then prompt the AI, say, I want to deploy this app via CodeMagic. I have set it up. I have set the workflow for iOS. Help me configure this project so I can deploy it. So it's a very general prompt. It's going to inspect the project to see the CodeMagic configuration first, if it exists. If it doesn't, it will just create those relevant files that we need to ensure CodeMagic works. So now that AI has finished its job, it basically added a CodeMagic YAML, which is the most important part, which consists of the workflow. And it's saying, hey, CodeMagic setup still needed. You got to do all these stuff. You can tell AI by going back to CodeMagic, I have already set up the distribution. Is this right? And AI will basically validate whether it is right. So it does flag that CodeMagic may use the YAML workflow instead of UI workflow, but the whole point here is the YAML workflow. So you can switch to YAML configuration, which is a bit more confusing to look at for someone because it basically checks for the CodeMagic YAML here. But we can subsequently just go back to the workflow editor and normally just use the workflow editor to build. So now it's all set up. We can click at the top, start your first build. So make sure the workflow is still iOS. I'm going to start a work build. And then what it will ask you, hey, is what branch? I want to select the main branch because that's what I'm building from on GitHub. And then the workflow is iOS because we've configured that. And then you don't need to enable SSH. So I'm going to press start new build. And this will basically get CodeMagic to pull the code. It will basically run through all these steps and then publish it to GitHub. If there's any error, it will tell you. So for example, if you forgot to increment the build number from my current version, it will fail at one point and tell you the error. And if it does tell you the error, you copy and paste the error into AI to help you debug. So the build has finished running and it has successfully ran. And after it's done, you actually get an email from CodeMagic saying it has succeeded. If there is an error, you'll also get an email. So it took approximately 13 minutes. So you can see that if you have a free tier of 500 minutes, you can probably deploy around a bit less than 30 times in a month. So if I go back to App Store Connect, you can see here the build is being processed by App Store right now. So that's how you can export your FlutterFlow code to local development and then subsequently publish an iOS build for test flight and final submission. I hope this tutorial helped you, and I hope you remember to comment, like, subscribe for more content on building apps. See you next time.